Welcome to the Bonfire Ninjas.
Oh my lord. Alright. Anyway, so I brought these guys because I want to also ask them after like the whole fucking League of Legends dilemma that we're having. What are some champions that we want to see? And I figured bring in
cousin.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to edit all this shit in. But so this is what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. We have 3 champions that we're all gonna pick. And we're just going to start seeing which ones we think are going to be good for the roster. So, Michael, start us off with a champion that you want to see in this game.
You want me to start off with my human or my non-human?
Start with your, like, the third character in your list.
Okay, so the one, I guess, okay. This one's actually going to be a little interesting because I think it's an interesting pick. I see we have, like, no type of, like, puppet type character. And I think this champion would be pretty interesting to make a kit for, and like, you know, have some pretty cool, interesting abilities that most other champions can't really do. And I'm gonna pick Azir. I feel like, yes,
really?
I feel like Azir would be really
Holy
cool. The amount of stuff you could do with his soldiers, I think would be insanely fun. And the fact that, you know, there's already like a kind of dash built into like League of Legends with him. You could like easily translate that into a fighting game. I could already see some really cool, you know, stuff going on with his soldiers and like air combos, or, you know, just like maybe like a reflect ability where you do his ult and it like reflects well, his ult from League of Legends, right, where you get the like the wall of soldiers, and maybe in the fighting game it can reflect like a projectile or something. I feel like that'd be really cool.
I don't know how you're familiar with like Killer Instinct, but there is like a guy in Killer Instinct called Aganos. He would actually put like walls. That was like his whole like gameplay. So he legitimately could like build a wall, and that is the wall of the game. If you're stuck in there until like you have to like do it. So I think that would be a. I completely forgot you were a fucking Azir slut.
Well, I'm not even that big of an Azir guy. Yeah, I mean I play him, but he's definitely on the lower end of the play rate of champions I normally play, but he's in my rotation. But he's not, I wouldn't say, my top 5.
Like I said, I'm thinking, my viewers, I gotta make something very clear. Michael's one of those guys that he'll play like the most like edgy, cringiest like characters, and you're like
high skill execution champions. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like to play like the harder champions.
No, you're right, but I gotta remember that at least with you get results. When my brother tries doing that, it's like a fucking, it's a nightmare. All right, Azir.
I didn't
brother,
say
you
it.
have any thoughts on that one? No, I think Azir I think would be a cool one, and I think
he'd offer something very different than what we have in the roster, and honestly, what we would have, I mean, offers something very different than like pretty much every other champion in the game.
Right, and I think he would be the first Shurimi.
Yep.
Shurimi?
When I think Shurima, I unironically think Azir.
Kind of hard not to.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
I don't think Azir when I think that. But all right. Maybe Mike has another character in there that I think. But all right. Omni, what is yours? I gotta let the guest go first.
Wait, are we doing? It doesn't matter the order.
No. It doesn't matter if it's human or not. Just like 3, your third pick.
So just go through your list.
I guess not beating the simple champion allegations. So like, I was thinking back about fighting games I like, and I was thinking how like I really like to play Ermac, and then I thought that like Malzahar could be a really interesting Ermac stand-in. So like. Okay. Not necessarily the fact that you're kind of like putting dots on people, but like using magic, I guess. So like, you could do like one of his moves, kind of like Dormammu, like he can do like a little spark in the middle or like right in front of him of like void energy, or he can have like a voidling that like runs forward. I think it Cyrax that had something like that where he throws like a little robot and it grabs onto them for a second and then explodes. I don't know if I'm thinking of the wrong game. There's a game like where you throw a little robot, like jumps, grabs them, and then blows up.
That could be like any funny.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like the little voidling doesn't have to be a thing that just like nibbles on their ankles. Like you could just like grab them temporarily, or you could do like the heavy version where it like grabs and then blows up and pushes them back.
So Mazahar would be like a.
Sorry, go.
I was kind of thinking like
say,
Chandelure, kind of from like that Pokemon fighting game. Like he's a very controlly kind of like far range mage.
Interesting.
So
okay, so he would basically use like the power. He would actually use the powers of the void to actually fight. Not just throw.
Because we've seen like iterations of void magic, kind of like Kassadin's Void Pulse or something like that, or like his Rift Walk.
I think Mazahar is kind of like the Void Whisperer, so
yeah,
it would make sense for him to do. It would make sense in a fighting game for him to do more fucking like open portals, do shit like that where you're like, oh wow, like yeah, I'm actually feel like I'm casting spells,
Yeah, and then like you can make it so that his he kind of has like I guess Wesker in a way, where he has a counters based depending on how his depending on what the ability is. So if it's like a projectile and he does like the projectile counter, he kind of like mimics that as like a void shield, but what he does instead is throws back like a dot on you or something. You know what I mean? So you know how Wesker when he would counter, he would just teleport in front of you. It'd be like that, but instead of he'd like double on the keep away thing, where he would just like put a dot on you if you like block correctly or counter correctly, so to speak. I'm using Wesker as in like Marvel vs. Capcom if that wasn't clear.
I think.
yeah, but like
they're not gonna think Wesker from Day by Day. Like, what?
But I thought that'd be kind of cool, because like you can iterate. Like Malzahar doesn't really have much of an identity in the game other than just like I put dot on you and then press R, right? But in the lore, he has a lot more in his arsenal, and I think that'd be kind of cool to see fleshed out.
Well, that's exactly what we want, because it's something like Alawi, where Alawi's just like, oh, I just fucking grab your soul and just make you get smacked by tentacles. But if you have a like in 2x KO, you have actually beating the shit with the totem and summoning tentacles to fight, and then you get to see her level 3 where you get to see hold on, I butchered this one, Nakakeboros, like a glimpse of the god. It's like a holy shit, that's so cool. So being able to see Mazahar do fucking wizard void things would be like really cool in my opinion. So yeah, I like that one. I approve of that one.
There's only one stipulation I have, is that he has to have a Servbot ultimate, where it's like all the voidlings, yeah, like on the ground and they run through them.
I mean, that could be his level 3 where he summons like a giant ass damn void and it eats you while you're suppressed.
Nah, I want him to have like a kind of like Ghost Rider type ult. With his ultimate, where he just looks into you, yeah, and just like fucking destroys you with his eyes.
I think Dormammu's level 3 would be better, where you get trapped by his like dark goo and then he just.
I think it would be cool though, like if like he like grabs somebody and like suppresses them, and then like I don't know, he's like he says something like "feel the power of the void" or some shit, and then just starts shooting beams from his eyes like he does in the game.
It'd be cool if he like suppresses you, and like I don't know if you might remember this on this, where do you remember the opening of Metroid Prime Hunters, where there's that where it shows Trace and like there's all these little spider things like crawling up into the spire? It'd be
of
like
course
that.
I remember. That's like so memorable.
yeah, like when you think about like Trace, like it's just like that, like he holds you in place with nether grasp, and then a bunch of little voidlings start coming out of the ground and like crawling up until your hand is like the last thing that shows and you just fucking die. That'd be cool.
Well, see brother, I think that'd be cool, but right now how they're animating level 3s, I don't know if we're gonna get that. I think it's gonna be
true, actually.
Right. Okay, my turn, right? All right, shit. Yep. All right, so this is no surprise to anybody, because I've been begging and talking about this character, and I made examples of him. For me, my third one is Zack. I think he'd be a good character, as the fact that he's very unique. I know that he's gonna be a pain in the ass to like animate, because again, it is just a blob that can do whatever the hell it wants. But I think some of the cool aspects you could do is you can give him like Venom animations. If you played Marvel vs. Capcom, the original like 1 and 2, you remember when Venom will like take shapes and forms to like as attacks? I think you can do a lot of that with Zack. Zack would also be a character that this game doesn't have like. Well, I think Darius has like crazy reach, but we need like a Dalzim or like a Kid Buu, where like some of his specials are kind of like hitting you from like far range that you can kind of like poke, and then you can use an assist to translate that into like an actual combo. And again, Zack is just kind of like a cool character. I don't know. I know people don't like playing against him in League of Legends, but I think when you're not playing against him, you're like, yeah, Zack's a pretty chill guy. And I think when it comes to like, again, the creativity of how the creativity of what you want to do with him is just it's like unlimited. It's just like you want his hand to get big, like something like One Piece or Mr. Fantastic, where you make his hand grow super big and he punches the shit out of you. You want him to turn into like a giant, like a little ball, like a huge ass ball that like bounces around the area, hitting you like crazy. I think Zack would be one of those characters that it's like a pain in the ass for the animators and everyone involved to like get him to work, but people that actually like a goofy, fun playstyle would be like, oh yeah, I love this character.
Yeah, I had him on my list actually, and then I took him off because
what? Oh, okay. There's
big brain.
Holy fuck, it's crazy.
Big brain.
That's crazy. So we got another Zack lover in here, even though Michael hates playing against Zack.
I think he would be I think he'd be really fun with his like goop and stretchy arms and shit. So definitely think he would be a fun pick. I could see like the anti-airs, with his like extendo hand.
Well, that's why like I said, I think it'd be good to like a character, like I said, like Dawson.
Kind of like Venom almost, like from Marvel vs. Capcom.
I just said that.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at all actually.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think like again, this would be a character where a pain in the ass to animate. You'd be like, God damn it, fuck it, like I hate this thing, but
yeah, kind of how like Venom was, right?
Yes. All right, we're going back to Michael. All right, Michael, your second one. Let's go. Let's hit it.
I feel like this is one you guys probably wouldn't have think I would. I mean, I think Azir was a little bit out of left field too, right?
Yeah, because
I think this one, it's not as out there as Azir, but I'm gonna go with Aatrox.
Really?
I feel like we need either Aatrox or Kayn, but Kayn is also kind of like Kayn would be cool because you could do both sides of Kayn. Lost and his Shadow Assassin.
See,
but I think he would technically count as human.
This is what I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Cringe edgelord carry picks.
Mike, you're basically just an e-girl.
Aatrox would be a. I think Aatrox would be a really cool.
We're just not gonna let Mike talk.
Cool representative for the Darken.
Yeah, because e-girls like Kayn players. They're like, oh my gosh.
Really?
Yeah. And Aatrox players.
That's funny.
That is true. I've seen a lot of VTubers be like, oh my god, who's that? Oh my god, he's so handsome, and you're like, yikes, dude.
Yeah, fuck your opinions, Mike. Anyway, what are you saying?
But I think Aatrox would be really cool.
In what regard?
All right, yeah, wrap it up, boys.
So he's got like
Wait, Mike. I'm sorry.
three-part.
I'm sorry to cut you off. There's no order. This is just fucking random fun. We're talking new Aatrox or old Aatrox. We gotta make the view. Okay,
they're not gonna do old Aatrox.
They could.
I don't even know why that's a question. They're not going to.
All right, go ahead, Mike. This time we'll let you finish.
I like old Aatrox, but they're not going to. But you can incorporate his 3-part Q into like a part of a combo or like a special ability. I think. Oh my God, what's this guy's name from SNK versus or Capcom versus SNK 2? Kyo, and I haven't played King of Fighters, but I've played Capcom versus SNK 2. And I'm pretty sure in that one he has like a move that's like a 3-part hit. That he does like some fire punches and shit. So I kind of think of like you could do something like that, or you can just kind of incorporate the animation for his like Q into like a heavy or light heavy or light medium heavy type combo if you're going the Marvel vs. Capcom type route. But there's some potential with that with the Q. You could include some type of like healing thing to like incorporate his passive and his overall theme of healing. Infernal Chains would be really cool. I feel like you could do some pretty cool stuff with Infernal Chains in a fighting game. He has a built-in dash, and then he can be like he could be an install character because his ult is basically like a buff, And he's supposed to be like the world ender, so like making him an install character would be really cool, right?
Oh no, absolutely.
Just, like, transforms. So I think there's a lot of potential with him, and he's also a really cool looking character. Got this big ass sword, very intimidating. Could be like a pretty big villain presence if you need that. I mean, this is a guy who wants to end existence, right? So not really too hard to, you know, get people to root against him / fight him. So, you know,
I don't know about cool, but yeah, I can see it. I was
all this Aatrox hate? Like, what?
Brother,
he's so cool.
You know why I hate Aatrox.
We don't like Aatrox, dude. We don't like Aatrox. No, the concept of having his ultimate, his level 3. Sorry, I gotta fucking stop saying that. His level 3 basically being World Ender, where he gets like an install, would be. I think what they can do is like use when he uses level 3 and he goes into like the install. That's when he gets like healing. Cause I don't a lot of fighting game people don't like inbuilt healing.
Built-in healing.
Yeah, I've heard like many like I know Elena from Street Fighter 4 makes a fucking big point where it's like, dude, come on, that's like bullshit and stuff like that. Especially in a tag team fighter, you don't want things to like always be constantly healing, because then it's like, dude, like this game is gonna drag on like crazy.
It would be cool if they could do something, incorporate. You know how like his Qs have like a sweet spot that like knock him up and deal bonus damage. If you can kind of incorporate that somehow with like his abilities in the game, and like maybe heal him with that, like if you hit him with the sweet spot.
I think what you can do with that, I don't know how that would work, but I think what you could do is you can have like a Marth mechanic where is it Marth? Yeah, Marth mechanic where like if you hit them with the tip of the sword, even I know it doesn't really like translate how it is in League, but if you make it something like that, you can make it that he heals like for like 5% or something crazy. Omni, what do you think about that? I know you don't like Aatrox, but
no, I stopped listening once Michael
like
mentioned
new
Aatrox. Yeah.
Oh boy!
Haters.
All right, since
I liked Aatrox before it was pop. I liked
game.
Aatrox before anybody else did. Fuck you.
Okay.
Everybody liked his lore. His gameplay was just not really cool.
I liked his gameplay.
I thought his gameplay was cool. I liked his gameplay.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Listen. We're gonna be here for an hour. We talk about fucking Aatrox's lore and why he got changed.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody from like, you know that one meme where it's like this guy in a baseball game and he's talking to this girl who seems clearly uncomfortable. Yeah, I was basically doing that to somebody when I came from like playing Magic, and we got to Chipotle at 11 and we left at 2 in the morning, and half that conversation was Aatrox.
Jesus, that poor woman.
Oh, it was a guy. It was guys.
Jesus, that poor guy.
No, they were entertaining it.
Okay. They tell you were wrong and base.
Yeah, I was like, listen, you just
accept it.
You should just petition for old Aatrox. Fuck Riot.
Oh my god.
All right, Dan, hit us with your next.
Yeah, what is yours so we can roast it and we can hear me like, boo.
Shit, I don't remember.
What do you mean?
Well, the one that I really wanted to see was gonna be Rengar. I feel like he'd be a really cool character.
Yeah, see that one I figured the furry lover had to show up himself eventually.
Me? You're the one that's asking us to provide monsters.
Yeah, but you didn't have to go to straight to the furry.
Well, I just forgot who my other pick was. I don't remember, but
how do you not? All right, continue.
No, I think Rengar would be cool as like a very kind of like aggressive character, like one of those like kind of like Strider, I guess, from UMVC 3. But what I was
rush them.
Yeah, but what I was really thinking would be cool is if you kept his like ferocity mechanic in some way. So like you know how you have like your basic kit like up light, down heavy, yada yada yada, but then you have like your special abilities, right? I think it'd be cool if like every 4th ability Rengar gets an enhanced version of it, right? Just kind of like he does with his with him in his game right now. But it would kind of translate to mostly the same. But what you can do is like you could do like the roar is like a light knockback, but like the heavy roar or the enhanced roar is like an OTG. I think would be cool. So like if you jump and then roar, it'll like knock them down in the direction that, you know, the roar is coming from. Or if like they're close to a wall and you have enhanced roar, then you can get like a bounce, like a wall bounce to like follow up with combos. His Q could be like his Q. Well, yeah, his Q, his stab could just be like again the same thing. Like it's just a really hard hitting move. and then you can make whatchamacallit, his like E be kind of like a stun, kind of like Spider-Man's web ball. So like the first one, maybe you can make it that it just kind of like slows them, but like the second one, you can make it that it stuns them. So you like say you're like doing an air combo, and then you like drop them down with like, I don't know, like a bounce or something, bola, so then they get stuck in the air, and then you continue your combo that way. And then the second thing I was thinking of was kind of like King from Tekken. He has a move called Technical Step, which is the one where he does a little jump. And then based on what you do during Technical Step is what he does next. So you can go like Technical Step into Haymaker or Technical Step into Heavy Front Kick. And then that would be like Rengar's kind of like pounce in a way. So like Rengar would kind of like crouch down and get ready to jump. And then depending on what button input you press is what he does next. So you can make it so that like he like jumps directly at the enemy or jumps like a kind of quarter up. So if you remember like if you remember Nemesis, he kind of had that thing where his little tentacle ability where like the light went straight, the medium went diagonal, and the heavy went all the way up. So
yeah, it was a really bad move, but yeah, I remember.
But you can make it so that like Rengar his jump is decided based on like if he does light, medium, or heavy, and if he does, it could either be like a command grab or like, I don't know, if he grabs you, then there's another input he could do. So he could like grab you and hit you on the ground, or he can grab you and then throw you a little bit, which could like I don't know, wall bounce you again or something like that. So he's kind of gonna be like a sequential character, I guess. Like whatever he does, based on what happens, he can do another input to continue whatever he's doing, if that makes sense. So like
yeah, it does make sense.
I don't know, like down special gets ready to pounce, then you press X, and then he jumps forward, and you make contact with the character, so then you press the stab move, and then it does like extra damage or something. You know what I mean? Or you could do like 1, 2, 3, and then roar to hit them into the wall, bounce them back, bola, and then start an air combo that way, or something like that.
Okay. So how would his level 3 look like?
I don't know. He jumps at you.
Yeah, that's the one that'd be kind of hard to like.
He basically does what.
I can see something where you like use the bola and you kind of like tie them down, and then yeah, he like, I don't know, they do some animation where he jumps on like a tree or something, and then he kind of like jumps downward and.
No, it's just like New Dawn. No, so what you can make his level 3 is like kind of how he ran at Draven that one animation and just started clawing at him. And it's like off screen, right? But like you can make it so that it has like a collector passive. So if you're below 5% health at the end of the level 3, you just die. You don't get to see it.
Okay. So I got a question with would you prefer if his gameplay was like the more abilities he uses, the more specials he uses, that's how it builds up his rage, so then he throws out like, you know, his enhanced ones? Or would you prefer if you want to make him a rushdown character, the more like aggressive you are playing the character, the more you have like infinite
what I mean by like
rage until he has to like fucking like cool down.
What I mean by rushdown is kind of like he's one of those characters that hits really fucking hard but dies really fucking fast as well.
So you want it to be a glass cannon then?
An assassin.
Like an assassin, yeah. But like
Zero.
But yeah. But that's why I use Strider, because I know he's very fucking aggressive too. But he like folds like a piece of stick, like a pile of sticks. Like he just falls apart after you get a combo on him. But no, like I would make it so that it's still very. I would argue that his ferocity would probably work better in a fighting game than it does in actual Rift, because the problem with Rift is that it runs out, right? And that like usually it's just like pick an ability that's best for the situation at hand, but you only ever get one. I think with Rengar it would be cool if he kept his stacks, and it's just based on those like 3 or 4 abilities. Like if he pounces, he gets a stack. If he does his knife move, he gets a stack, because those are the moves you tend to spam, right? Like I'm also kind of thinking of like when I used to play Frank West in Marvel vs. Capcom, where like a lot of my combos would be like 1, 2, 3 hit, and then it'd be like using the special weapon. And then like an air combo, then doing the heavy slam sledgehammer thing, and then like using the picture, right, to like knock them up when they're, because it's an OTG. And like within that entire combo, I've used like 6 abilities, and I was like, well, now think about it like this: you get 6 ability within that 6 ability window. You have 1 that's enhanced, right? Or you could lower the threshold to 3 and then make it so that within like a normal Rengar combo, there's 2 enhanced that you can use, right? And then that will dictate, okay, well, is it better to like OTG them off the ground with Roar, or is it better to stun them in the air with Bola here? You know what I mean? Like just depending on the flow of the combo. And then obviously your cheeky cash out will always be your enhanced Q, quote unquote. because that one will just deal a fuck ton of damage. It'll be like the equivalent of like a King's Haymaker, where he like turns around and just smacks you in the face, and it's an unblockable. And that thing takes like 50% of your HP.
Oh no!
Like one that's very telegraphed.
I don't need a character that's aggressive like Zero and Striker to have an unblockable.
No. But I'm saying
really
that it would be an attack that is so telegraphed, but like if he if a Rengar player knows how to play it right, he'll like combo Bola into a Savage Stab, and then he'll just like take a quarter of your health instantly. You know what I mean?
Okay. No, I guess I agree with you. I think Rengar would be one of those characters that it's like he is like the Predator of like League of Legends. So having like a hunter in there would make sense, and since his whole gimmick is I want to find worthy prey. That's like the perfect reason for him to like fight like anyone in the game.
Mm-hmm. Also, we saw him take a punch from who was it? Who did he get punched by in the animation? Oh, Darius. But there was another person he got punched. Oh, when he got kicked by Katarina, and he just like turned around and was like, "Oh, I'm about to fuck you up," and I was like, "Yeah, this guy should be in a fighting game."
Well, yeah, no, I think any champion that isn't a New Dawn cinematic is like, bro, where's the fighting?
Well, I mean,
game?
Rengar also in Rift like already like fucking knees enemies and shit. You know, like he punches things, so he's like one of those characters that you kind of wouldn't expect to be a brawler, but like you know. He's kind of also the character that's like all gloves are off. I'm going to kill you. You know what I mean? And it's like no fancy way about it. Like there's no like blade work or anything. He's just like I'm gonna beat you and stab you and throw things at you and then yell in your face and then you're gonna die. And I think that'd be really cool to see.
Well, it is for the hunt. Remember the thrill of the hunt. All right, Michael, any thoughts on that or no?
I think he'd be a good choice. I think he'd be interesting for sure. I don't know about having him completely like super squishy, because like
I think
compared to other assassins, he has survivability. Like he has a pretty active like heal. And
yeah, I was thinking about that
like,
too.
Takes off.
He's more of like a bruiser lately, isn't he?
And you can play him as a bruiser. Yeah. You can play him either super assassin like or a bruiser. And then back in the day before they took it off, AP where you just one shot.
Yeah,
with your
I was gonna say that maybe he could be a little bit beefier, but I was thinking like I always like Rengar, whether he is a tank or whether he is not a tank, whether he is an assassin or a bruiser. The one thing I like about Rengar is how he's always in your face, and that's why I like the mentality of Rushdown.
Yeah, I definitely would. I think he'd be I would put him more like medium to like medium light. Yeah. In terms of like, that's where I would put him. But yeah, for sure, that's the only thing I would had thoughts about. Besides that, I think everything else sounds cool.
Yeah, and I think it would be a good because like I know we have Bastian. Please someone correct me if mispronouncing that. He would actually be an actual Bastian, not just e-girl, cat girl.
Yeah.
Sorry, fox girl.
Just like a fucking Final Fantasy cat girl.
Damn, dude, but you like Final Fantasy.
What is the name of the cat girls in Final Fantasy? You remember, Mike?
I don't fucking know. You play Final Fantasy.
Mike plays. Do you remember the name of the cat girls in Final Fantasy?
Like the...
Miqo'te. That's the name. The race. Yeah, Miqo'te. Never mind. You're useless. Anyway.
Anyway, alright. My turn. Alright, so, this one is gonna be a very, you guys probably seen it because I play this champion a lot, even though fucking Riot or nobody loves this character. But I think he needs a little love, just like Alawi. My next pick is Yorick. I think Yorick would.
I knew it.
I love Yorick. All right, so Yorick is one of those characters that has like, such a fucking cool backstory, has such a cool lore and such a good gameplay. But well, like everything in paper is good, but then when you translate into League of Legends, it's like one of the most boring is like gameplays ever, because it's just you played Yorick or you played against Yorick, like what it is. But Yorick in a fighting game would be so cool, because it would be a thing now where you actually can command your little goblins to like goblins. I'm gonna call them goblins. Yeah, okay. Anyway, the ghouls. Yeah, you can use the ghouls to actually like attack people. He would actually be a interesting character where you can use the wall to like distance people out. He would play around like long mid range. He wouldn't want to be in your face. But he would want to be like a few feet away from you, like using the ghouls to like keep you pressured and be like, yeah, you're stuck in this corner, and I'm not gonna allow you to move until like I say so, or until like you get hit, and then we continue repeating it. I don't know if you guys played Dragon Ball FighterZ Z, but Nappa has this thing where his whole mechanic is about using Cyberman. And what you do is that like you basically like every time you finish a combo, you throw a Cyberman, and the Cyberman basically keeps pressure on you. Or I'm pretty sure my brother maybe knows this, like someone like Gargos. I don't remember if you guys remember, but Gargos is level 2 is the one where he actually summons like 2 minions to actually like fight for him. So they're gonna be in the screen like 24/7, just hitting you. And there is a way to like actually kind of control them so you can like combo into them. So I think Yorick would be a character where it's like if you really want to like play like, oh, let me control the battlefield or like the area, yeah, that's gonna be good. And if you can actually get really good with Yorick, you're gonna become like a whole menace. And again, he had for his level 3, he has the fucking maiden that costs like not even costs a shadow, sorry, the maiden of the Shadow Isles. So you could just do whatever the hell you want with her as a level 3, and it's just gonna have like a spooky a nice spooky like feel to it, I guess. I don't know how he would do it, but the maiden of the Shadow Isles to like fucking do chaos. I think he'd be a pretty like cool idea. And again, this character does need some love because again, Riot just ignores him completely. They even screwed his whole story when it came to like the Sentinels of Light. I still won't forgive them for that, but. Yeah, I think I would like to see Yorick in there. I think if you're gonna have a cool character, if you're gonna give him some love, add him in a fighting game. I think people are gonna be like, yeah, this character is actually pretty cool. Not any thoughts, or this is just like, or am I just in this island?
I'm thinking like,
or am I just in this island by myself?
I'm
not expecting like applause and be like, oh yes, like good, but come on, something. It's like, all right, cool, next. Who cares about you?
I'm thinking maybe you can have like something like kind of like Jill from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with like the zombies and shit.
Okay.
I feel like
I kind of forgot about that. But
she has like different like, you know, zombies that she brings for like different scenarios. Like there's the slow fire zombie, the regular zombie, the dog, and the zombie
she does
bird.
do that. Okay,
yeah, and maybe you know, it's not gonna be different like little.
Yeah, you're basically supporting old York more than you are new.
But like,
well, the concept
use them in different ways.
The concept is there where like you use them for
use
pressure
them in different ways,
and you use them for like pressure. Yeah.
And then your W, your W from League of Legends could be like, you know, kind of like he'd be definitely a lot more of a like what are those characters called? But more like a controlling character type thing where he like controls like the fight and the tempo, and you know, tries to pressure you, can keep away. Pretty well with, like, the W.
It'd be a thing where if you give him the advantage, then you play on his turfs, not on not on yours, and you gotta kind of like either break, like kind of get the turn back. If not, he just kind of takes over the whole fucking game, which would translate pretty good in League of Legends, because you know in League, if you let him play macro and you let him just kind of like push everything, the game starts going like in your favor, because it's like, how do we stop Yorick?
Yeah,
until he wins.
Okay.
Brother, any thoughts?
No, I can't really see York in the game personally.
What? Why not? All right,
I could see it.
I'm sure he could be in there. I just can't think of a way that I would incorporate him. Let me put it that way better.
You want to elaborate on that one? This is a nice conversation.
Just a guy with his shovel.
I mean, if he can't think of it,
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like York is one of those champions when like, if I saw him in a fighting game, I'd be like, oh, that's really neat. Like, I wonder how they thought of that. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so is it a situation where you can't think about it, but then when you see someone like Phoenix Wright being played,
yeah. Like when somebody's like, they're gonna add Phoenix Wright, you're like, what the fuck? And then you see him play out, and you're like, oh, okay.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last one. This is like our top one. This is our dream character that we want in this game. I know my brother, even though this character's in this game, he's not gonna fucking play it because he doesn't like fighting games, but
who's don't like fighting games?
Mike, back me up here. Every time.
Can I guess your guys' first pick?
Oh, we want to guess them? All right, no, Mike. So you're first. So
I want to guess, but we won't confirm. Actually, yeah, go ahead. Guess what my first pick is.
Okay, your first pick. Shit. All right, here we go. I gotta add some music to this. 1 second. Okay. Brother, you wanna go first or I go first?
To pick Michael's.
Do we have try to guess it? Do we have tries, Michael, or is it like 3 tries, 3 strikes, or what? How are we doing this?
We'll do. I feel like let's just do one each. One each is fine.
Give me at least 2 chances.
Do 2 try? Right,
yeah, give me 2 tries. Yeah. Okay.
Is this Silas? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, that's my first.
Right,
that's my first pick.
I'm tuning
I think
out.
he's like a pretty easy. He's a pretty easy shoo-in for like a fighting character, and you could simple, but then like the way his ult works, like in game, like I guess like from League his ult, how you would incorporate that. There are other like I'm trying to think of fighters that steal things from.
The only one I can think of is Shang Tsung, but I don't even know how that would work.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of too.
Because it's not something like Viego where Viego steals your whole kit. This is just ultimate. It's just your ultimate. So that'd be kind of interesting to like see how they play around that. But I'm honestly thinking that they probably would just get rid of that mechanic. They wouldn't put it in the game.
That is such an integral part of him, I think, though. Like, it's one of the things that makes him really unique. Besides, I mean, his chains are also like pretty unique, right? But
I guess
I feel like the hijack thing is like what's like makes him so like different and fun, at least in League of Legends. Is that like, you know, using other people's ultimates in conjunction with his basic abilities. Because I would say his basic abilities aren't anything egregious except for maybe the W. People like really hate it because the amount he heals, but that's not really because of how broken the ability it is. It's more about numbers in that case. But I think the hijack is what like really like makes him stand apart personally. But I mean, we're going through his passive. That'd be pretty easy to implement. You know, like doing like the circular whips, AOE whips. When you do something, chain lash could be like a good poke option. Kingslayer. I don't know. Like you said, you don't like how like. I guess people don't really like healing in fighting games. So maybe Kingslayer would just be like some type of like dash attack or something where he dashes forward and does like an attack there. He also has his dash where his abscond and abduct. But I feel like there'd be a lot of really cool things you can do with his chains. You could have something where he like, you know, kind of like Spencer where he pulls himself towards them.
Oh god, please
have, like, a scorpion thing where you have them like you pull them to you.
I don't need.
You could do
sorry to cut you off. I don't need Silas flying across the map with like good mobility. I would quit the game.
Silas would necessarily be. I feel like Silas would be.
But I could
perfect
see
kinda
it
like
for sure.
Mid-range character, kind of like what's the name of this guy?
How? I feel like he has to be in your face. That's his whole
what
thing.
I mean,
because the
no.
chain.
So I think he
being
can
in
be,
your
but what
face.
I'm saying is like, I was gonna say like Ghost Rider. Like Ghost Rider has a thing where he like has ways to manipulate distance on you based on like how, because he doesn't he have that one command grab where he like resets the position to put you like his chains whip away, right?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about? This he has that one grab where he like grabs you and then like lights you on fire 3 times and then like puts you like a couple of characters away from him.
Oh, his anti-air, yeah. I thought you were talking about his one that he pulls you in, like next. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it'd be cool if he was kind of like a reverse of Ghost Rider, where he like is able to do things to get in your face like Spencer, but is also able to kind of keep you at an arm's reach. So he kind of can dictate how a game is played based on like, I'm gonna keep you away until I find a good opportune time to strike you. You know what I mean? And then he just kind of goes all in, like Spencer. But like, what I mean by mid range is the fact that he would be able to utilize his chains to kind of poke you or keep you away, and like kind of like his Q, you know what I mean? Like his Q has nothing to do with him going in. It's just kind of like I'm gonna beat you down and then eventually I'm gonna get to a point where I just throw everything at you.
his Q applies a pretty hefty
but you know what I mean.
So if you hit it,
it's
like a nice.
It's like Zed.
It's really
like
good,
Zed. If
easy
you
to
throw the
dash
shadow,
in,
you
hit
do the
chain.
Q and the E, and you're like, yeah, I can go in, and then you're gonna press W.
Yeah, but Zed has a lot more range.
You know what I mean?
With just throwing out the Q, but then.
But we're thinking.
What I'm
about,
saying
like...
is like Silas. I disagree with that. I think Silas is a lot more. I don't want to say has to be, but when I think of like how he plays in League, and if you wanted to translate that to like a fighting game, he would be definitely more like, you know, dashing towards you, he would be a pressure character in my eyes.
Okay, I see. I can see him being a pressure character, but I think I also would see him like, you know, he has chains for a reason, and it's gonna be kind of dumb if you don't use the chains as attacks. I kind of understand what you're saying with it too, but like you could use it that he has like a scorpion like pull, or he has ways to like that he can grab you from like mid range and move himself to you. I think that would be good, because like I do agree with you, Mike. I don't see him playing like super like keep away, but I would see him that like maybe he has ways to like from different angles and different ways to like use the chain to hit you from far and like just pull himself anywhere.
Chain lash, and then his passive being like a AoE, you know, like attack with his chains. I could see stuff like that. Yeah,
the ultimate is the one thing I could probably think of, like a level 1 and level 2. Like his level 3, I don't even know how you would imply without hijack. Unless you.
Yeah, I wonder if they want to make him like a Shang Tsung type thing where he only like steals like a certain ability from them or something. I don't know.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe the assist, but
he copies their level 3. I think that
would be kind of.
He copies their level 3 as a level 2.
That'd be insane. You imagine you're eating that, you're like, bro. Okay, brother. We're gonna guess yours.
So, yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be something cringe. I already know.
Let me All right. Here we go. Shit. I closed my legal. Fuck.
Am I guessing?
1 second. Yeah, Mike. Please go ahead. You're the guest.
I'm gonna go Fury.
No,
nothing. Okay. Ooh, all right. Damn. Okay, we got 3 more tries. Shit. I don't even know, man. This is the. Is it gonna be something stupid like Blitzcrank?
I'm torn between 2.
I'm saying I'm saying Blitzcrank.
No.
All right. Shit.
All right, I am going to say. I have 2 in my mind. I'm gonna say Graves.
No.
No.
That would be cool though.
I feel like Graves would be cool though, right?
Oh boy, the pressure's all on me, right? Fuck it. No, that one. Hold on. Give me like 2 seconds. Who the fuck have you been playing? You know what?
You want me to tell you the 2 I was thinking about? That could be.
All right, go. Which one? Help me out.
I was debating between Graves, Kennen, and Mordekaiser.
I was thinking Mordekaiser too, but then that steals mine. But then I had a second one. All right, I'm gonna say Mordekaiser.
Yeah, it was Morty.
Yay!
Okay. So the thing is, I didn't know that we were doing like the last one was gonna be the one we wanted most, because otherwise I would have put Rengar up there. I thought we were just doing 3.
Yeah, my bad. This thing was kind of like a whole fucking like last second.
I was kind of like I was kind of torn between like Udyr and Diana or Leona.
I was thinking about Udyr myself too. I feel like Udyr would be really cool in a fighting game with his like different stances. Yeah.
But no,
Michael, they're a small indie company. You gotta give them a break, dude. They can't even make level 3s. You wanted to make a level 4 character.
5-7 years for 10 characters?
Yeah, you wanted you wanted to add a stance character that's gonna take like 7 years to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, brother. Sorry, go ahead.
So I wanted Morty to kind of be the, I don't know if he would be popular because of this, but like I was thinking of like the cinematic with New Dawn when like whatchamacallit, when like how imposing Nautilus was, right? And like how he just like hit somebody once with his anchor and they were basically dead. I kind of want Morty to play the same way. I don't really want him to be like super combo heavy, but I want him to be a character where like when he hits you, it's just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit. Like, I don't know how you would incorporate that, but like Yeah, I would basically want him to be kind of like a Nemesis or a Gigas from Tekken 5, 6, where when he does hit you, or like Kuma's a perfect example too. Like when Kuma hits you, you're just like, holy shit, what happened to my health? I kind of want Morty to be like that. Very heavy, very immobile. I want him to have like, I definitely want him to be, as much as people hate it, I think it would be fitting for him, an abuser of super armor. Like, I think super armor is fine in a fighting game as long as you actually use it correctly, because I feel like the problem with super armor in games is that they give it to people who really shouldn't have it. You know what I mean? And I think that Morty would exemplify like a playstyle that's built around the idea that yes, he's going to have super armor that he is going to take advantage of. You know what I mean? But the downside could come into his mobility. Because, yeah, super armor's kind of cringe sometimes. But...
Well, the
idea of Morty having it, I think, could be cool, especially when you start adding his like pull to things, so he can always kind of bring you to him. And then you kind of have to fight him in that sense. You kind of can't play keep away with him. And then I also thought about how funny it would be if you had the same thing as Fiddlesticks, where he just kind of like vanishes you after a little bit. He's like, oh, you have enough damage stacked. Oh, you're gone.
Man, and you say I would be a bad game developer.
Well, because
you're making like insta kills in fighting games.
Well, because you're always just like, I want my person to be tanky, and then I have a hard steal and demolish stack on a character and 2-tap them.
Well, yeah.
No, I don't want Morty to 2-tap people. I want him to fucking like hit really hard, but he's like still susceptible to a bunch of damage because he's so slow. But because of that, like, he's going to make trades into you. Like, you're going to do a full combo. He's going to be like, yeah, whatever. And then he's going to hit you with a Q, and you're going to be like, oh.
well, like I said, I've always liked big characters like Aganos, Sentinel, Nemesis, where they're just these big hulking things, and you're like, and your character's like little tiny, you're like, oh, hi, what do I do? And it's...
Oh, Sentinel's another good example. When Sentinel gets a combo off on you, you're like, oh, there goes half my health. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and Sentinel has like huge hitboxes because that like his what is it? His launch his aerial launch is like a one where he like moves his legs super high and then there's explosive bombs under it. And you're like, dude, that thing's gonna hit me regardless. like
I would want Sentinel to kind of have, or Mordekaiser to have a move like, you know, Dormammu's little disc where he like throws you across the screen. Like when I was playing Morty, I was thinking about like the little thing he does with the portal where he just like pushes it away and it fucking flies. Like it'd be cool if he had an attack where he just swings at you and you just like fucking fly across the board and wall bounce, you know what I mean? And then he could just do like a 3-hit follow-up from there, and then you'd be like, oh, shit. Or I think it'd be cool, like, I think when I remember looking at the showcase, they said that you can break armor in that game. Like, a lot of his moves are just gonna be like, yeah, no. You know what I mean? Or break guard, that's what I meant to say. But he's gonna have a lot of, like, instances where he just kind of doesn't let you get away with defensive mechanics, because he's just gonna brute force through them, in a way. But you know, in exchange, he's gonna be kind of like Nemesis, where like you can be hitting him, and he's just gonna keep walking, but he's also just limited to walks or something like that. Because Nemesis was like that, I think. I'm pretty sure like if you hit Nemesis with like any projectile that wasn't heavy, he just kept walking, and that was cool.
I think it was that with his like supers, that his supers were like if you hit him with something, he would just kind of like flinch it off.
Yeah, like I kind of just want him to play like Nemesis, especially that like I think it was called Biohazard Rush, where he like does the 3 swings. Like nothing could interrupt that fucking move, short of another special.
Oh, you mean one of his worst ultimate, one of his worst supers in the game?
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but like the idea of him being able to kind of just shrug everything off on the way to you, I would want to see Morty kind of do something like that. So maybe like a special, like, you know how Vergil has that one where he puts a bunch of blades around him? Like, it'd be cool if he had a special like that. But obviously Morty doesn't have the mobility of Vergil, so he would just have like his passive aura as a special that he holds for a certain amount of time, and he can like maybe heal from the chip damage. But at the same time, at the same time, like Morty would be impervious to projectiles or something, but he would still be able to be hit. So like you either have to like wait it out and then try to suffer the assault from Morty, or you have to fight him, but you're probably not going to do as good as he is. You know what I mean?
Okay. No, I had Mordekaiser as like my backup for number 1, because I think that we need like more villains in this game. We need more like overlords, more tyrants.
Yeah.
We need more stuff like that. And I think like again, Mordekaiser's one of those characters that is like he's like one of the big bosses, like Avengers level threat in Runeterra. So having someone as cool as that, and like the characters are already cool. Maybe I would have maybe like objected if it was old Mordekaiser. That one kind of just like goofy.
I mean, hell, you could still add that too.
Like,
it'd be cool if he had a little projectile, like a short-range projectile, where he does his little force pulse thing. I forgot what it's called. Not King of Spades. That was his Q. But you know his old E, the little cone. Like, it'd be cool if he had a move kind of like that in the game.
Are we talking about old Mordekaiser?
Old Mordekaiser's E.
Michael woke up. He's like, "Oh, Mordekaiser! Oh, Mordekaiser!"
Old Mordekaiser's E was so cool.
What, is he gonna summon a dragon?
Yeah.
That'd be cool as a super, as a like
That would be cool as a super.
A super, he just knocks you up. It's like, yo, bring the dragon. You're like,
maybe
what?
you could do that, like where his level, one of his abilities is he basically gets like a Morgan level 3, and he gets a clone of himself behind you, and he just starts beating the shit out of you.
Dude, we do not need a fucking zero and another zero.
I was gonna say zero, but I was like, no, it'd be cool if it was just like a reflection of you in the background that he beat up with you.
That's what zero does.
Yeah, but zero, like I said, zero. Imagine if you gave that ability to fucking, I don't know, Sentinel. Like it sucks still, but like the reason that it's broken is because it's zero, not because it's the ability.
No, the reason it's broken is because you can't, like, you're just stuck like blocking the whole time. You can't do anything and push him up.
Yeah, but
and since zero has good numbers, not good numbers. Since zero has good buttons, it's like impossible. You're gonna get opened like eventually because of like.
But Morty doesn't have that.
But you want that. You know what I'm saying? But you want to give him that with super armor. It's like, bro, please.
Yeah. Well, he's not dealing damage to you. I think there's a thing. I think there's a thing to say that there's like an ability that doesn't directly deal damage to you. You have to utilize it, kind of like Zero's level 3. But at the same time, it's like again, the reason it's strong is because Zero has so many multi-hit attacks, whereas Mordekaiser, he's not built around that. So like, yeah, he's just gonna you'll be able to open up or run away from him because he is gonna take like 3 seconds in between every attack or something. I don't know, not 3. I'm just saying. He's gonna be like Nemesis. He's gonna be slow as fuck.
No,
but I wanted to be slow and like heavy hitting. Like I wanted to be where you're just kind of like, if I so much as leave myself open for a second, I'm gonna get smacked.
Yeah, you're like, if I don't block this or if I get hit, I'm dead.
And then like basically because he has this debuff where he has to take so many hits because you know he's probably gonna be getting bullied while he tries to find an opening. You give him things like super armor or like reduced damage to try to like make up for the fact that he isn't constantly wailing on you, you know what I mean? Because they're gonna be knocking you up and doing air combos on you and shit, and you're just supposed to sit there like, wow, I really can't do anything because they're so fast. But then you find an opening and they're just like, oh, yeah, like fuck, there goes my health.
Okay. No, like I said, I think I had him as my like backup for number 1, but I think Mordekaiser would be like one of the cool, like a really cool champion to add in there, and I think he should be in there because a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, add Viego," and I'm like, nah. "Oh shit!" I'm like, brother, I don't want Viego. I want Mordekaiser. Give me that. That's more cooler than shirtless guy with sword because we already have like that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Any other thoughts or no?
No, I think Mordekaiser would be a really cool pick.
All right, now it's my turn. Now I you know what? I'm not gonna premise to say it's not a tank because that's not.
Is it Volibear?
Ornn.
My brother got it.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, it's gonna be Volley.
Bro, it's so cool. Okay, so I gotta make a state. I gotta like, you know, just say this. Tekken 8, I played like shit ton of I would say Bolivar. I played a lot of Kuma in Tekken 8. And I remember that there was this one video I showed to Mike. I don't know if I showed it to my brother. Someone modded new Bolivar into Tekken 7. And I was like, there's footage of it. I'll probably show it here. But I was like, bro, that would be so awesome to have Bolivar in a fighting game. Because if they already have Kuma in Tekken 8, they can easily bring like, you know, a bear into this game. And it's not even just a bear. It's a god that can command thunder and lightning. So I think that they can make it I don't know. I think it's just Bolivar is just one of those characters that you look and you're like, why the fuck is he not in the main roster?
Yeah.
Because what you can do is you can have him. You know, he is like a set. Is he like a savage animal? Am I wrong, kind of saying that or not really?
I think he used to be a lot more savage.
so.
I don't think he is too much anymore. He's just more like a strong-willed god thing.
He's savage when he's fighting.
Because like old Volley was he just wanted to fuck you up.
You wanna make the Volibear
Really?
sounds?
I kind of feel like the opposite.
No.
Like I feel like now he goes a lot more crazy.
No, I feel
Like he makes those weird ass noises. He's like ah! and shit. And I'm like, dude,
old
what's wrong
Volley
with
when
this
he
guy?
walked around, he just talked about how he wanted to rip your head off all the time, and I was like, okay.
You don't remember old Volibear where you go
New Volley's more like you know, be strong, don't be fearful, the wilds are gonna take over, yada yada yada. But like old Volley, like, do you remember his run? He was like, you were like, oh
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was waiting for that. I was like, kid, I was gonna ask you, can you give me a
Yeah, Battle Roar was such
There
a
we go.
cool ability. Oh, I loved Battle Roar. But yeah, he used to
Dude,
do
I
like
remember when
he
he
used to say his line.
He still talks about stuff.
Yeah,
like
his line
that.
was like,
I'm reading his quotes.
But
right
he's
now.
more calmer. He's more like some stuff is like, oh, the winds and the thunder will rise, and I'm like,
I'm literally looking like, for example, gods do not beg, we take what is ours.
Michael,
yeah,
I
but
meant
that's
the
not all
exact-
fool in his head are easily parted. Like, I don't know about that one.
I forgot to mention this. I think I mentioned this to Michael and my brother.
Bones crunch, blood drips. This is the weight of old VR jar.
Yeah, he's
Like,
just, I mean,
my blood
that's
is
something I
up.
would hear from fucking Olaf, though.
I will taste their ancestors stuck
Okay, that
between
one
my
is pretty
teeth.
sick.
Your gods are cowards. Like,
All right, so we're all in agreement that Volibear is like cool, right?
Yeah.
yeah, Volibear's cool. I
Yeah.
would love Volibear.
I forgot to. I just remembered that I actually met the voice actor of the new Volibear, so I think that's why I have such a big bias on like why I would want Volibear. But again, it's a bear that can fight savagely, strong, and he can also and you don't have and some of the specials it could just be like him just summoning thunder. Which Thunder is such a cool you know what? I think I like this character because I like bears and I like my favorite one of my favorite games is Infamous. So kind of like blend both together and you get Volibear.
I've got a. The only way I will accept Volibear
What's up,
is if they put this skin in here. Let me post it.
Oh my god, which one? So I can. All right, let me.
That's
Oh.
gross.
That's disgusting. How's that even a skin? Oh my lord. All right, viewer, Chad. I'm sorry. You're not. Should I say Chad? Oh my god, viewers. I'm sorry for that. But we're silly, dude. We like to have silly fun. But yeah, Volibear would again. I think his ultimate would be a cool one where he just gets like transforms into the actual size that he is, and just like basically pounces, like basically just hits you with both of his arms, and you hear like large thunder just striking on you. I don't know. I think Volibear would be like Volibear's one of those characters that if they don't add him into the game, I'm gonna like riot. Or if I find a 2x KO developer, I'm gonna be like, so what are the chances that Volibear gets added? That's the only thing I want. I need what's the God of War fucking meme? That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so that's it. Oh, Michael, I got a question for this.
Yep.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Thresh at all.
I was thinking about Thresh. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I just felt like the other ones I chose. I felt like, I mean,
Silas over
I feel
Thresh?
like Zack would be a really cool option for like that kind of hook pull type thing. Zack.
Really?
That more than Thresh. Yes. I mean, cause Zack, it's like Thresh is. They kind of fill that same niche, like in a fighting game. I would think so. With Zack, like you'd use like the stretchy arms to grab them, the same way you would like use the hook to grab somebody. But Thresh, I could see being more like what Dan was talking about, like Silas, about being like kind of like a Ghost Rider-esque champion. Like I could see him filling that role, where like keeping you away and stuff, and then like he could hook you when he decides to go in, like what Dan was describing earlier, with what he thought Silas could fit.
Because I think besides just me, I think we only had one Shadow Isles representative here. Which I was surprised. I thought like like you or my brother would be saying more.
We already have Alawi though in the roster, right?
Yeah, but she's not a Shadow Isle. She's more Bilgewater.
More Bilgewater.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at a couple. Like I was thinking about Hecarim.
Hecarim would not be in this. I don't know how they would make him work. I know my brother was crying right now, but
No, I was thinking about Hecarim, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna be too viable. I would rather have some other representation from the Shadow Isles.
Like who?
I don't know, somebody
So
more interesting. Everyone's from the Shadow Isles, right?
No, she's
No,
a demon.
I don't think so.
She's just a
She's
demon.
just like Runeterra. She's just
It's like
Runeterra.
Shaco.
Some succubus.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of just there.
Or like
Just sowing chaos.
Trying to think of.
Yeah, but-
maybe Maokai?
Mine would be cool.
Pike?
So before I end the video, I just want to make an agreement.
But Pike's more bilge water
Karth
than
is-
Shadow Isles, right?
How?
I don't know.
Let's do Thresh. I think Thresh would be the coolest one.
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to before the video ends. When it comes to Teemo, yay or nay?
I think Timo would be cool.
I say fuck. I say fuck
I think
that.
Teemo would be fine.
What? I'm the only one?
I feel like you kind of have to
Yeah.
add Timo.
You don't know about the Mo, bro. You don't know about the
Oh
Mo.
my god! All right, we're gonna have another.
We know your history with Pee Pee Poo. Come
I
on,
think
man.
We have. We're gonna have
Timo could be one of those
Oh.
characters with like a very comical kit. Like I can see like one of his down
Where-
heavy, him being like exploding a mushroom on himself, but it does like a little explosion that hits you. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Kind of
not.
like how
Listen,
Phoenix Wright, he has like the banana peel one where it's like a high kick, or like the paper
Absolutely
scatter.
not. Listen, I'm gonna spend a whole hour proving you why you guys are wrong and losers.